Are you thinking about purchasing a property in Portugal? Well, watch this video first because we are going to cover the biggest mistakes that people make when purchasing a property in Portugal. My name is Russell and I'm the founder of Portugal Buyers, an exclusive buyers agency in Portugal that helps many clients purchase their first property in Portugal. Now, the next point is so important if you're relocating to Portugal, and this is picking the right location. It's really important that you have spent time in the location that you are looking to purchase in. And it is also fundamental that the agent that you're working with or the reputation that you have during your property purchasing process has unbiased advice when it comes to locations. Because let's say you're working with a dual agent, which is very typical here in Portugal, where they represent both the seller of that property and the buyer. They are only going to want to show you properties that they have fully listed with them because they get the highest commission when they sell the property. When it comes down to this, it means you're going to get misrepresentation because if you ask them, they're going to say that this is the best location, it has amazing amenities, etc. Whereas that might not be true. If you closely look and the agent that you're working with closely looks at all of the important criteria to you when purchasing a property, when it comes down to the location, they should give you a few options where they think your lifestyle will tailor to the best, whether you need a school for your children, or you need certain amenities, you need sports facilities, you need nature walks, you need a certain amount of peace and quiet, or you want to be closer to a city where there's more life going on, or you can be in walking distance from restaurants, for example. All of these things make a massive difference when it comes to your day-to-day life, and it really is probably the most important aspect of buying a property in Portugal. Not only for your lifestyle, but also for property appreciation, as of course the best locations have higher appreciation when it comes to properties. And in each location, this is so important. So make sure you are getting the best and unbiased advice when it comes to purchasing a property. So another big mistake that I see many buyers making is not negotiating enough on the property. In Portugal, people overprice properties all the time. This means they may price a property at, let's say, €1 million, and they would be willing to take 800,000. I've seen that in quite a few cases where they come down a lot. So it's really important that you negotiate very hard on every single property because you never know, you may save so much money during this process. And this is where working with a buyer's agent can really help you, because a buyer's agent can speak to the seller's agents. The seller's agents are much more honest with the buyer's agents in terms of how much negotiation room there is, if the sellers feel insulted by a certain offer or not, something that may or may not kill the deal as well. So it's really important. Also, a buyer's agent can get you all the data on each property that's on the market. Now, unfortunately, in Portugal, we don't have a database with official selling prices of a certain property. So as buyer's agents, we utilize software that tells us all the properties that are on the market, at what price they were delisted at, how long they've been on the market, and everything else. So we have as many comparable properties that we can show the seller's agent to negotiate this down as far as possible. And we can also give you all the data possible on the market to show the deal that you are getting on a property, so you can understand the exact environment that you're purchasing into. You understand what the property prices are, how many properties have sold, if there are many sales in that area. Because you may see in certain communities that very few properties get put on the market, which means we don't have many comparables, whereas in other areas we have lots of comparables. This in the future will also impact the appreciation of your property. So as a buyer's agent, we are constantly looking at every single data point and part that's going to get you the best deal possible. So make sure you have all the data possible and negotiate as hard as you can on each property so you are saving as much money, as this is really the time where you can save so much money throughout the process. If you're taking any value, then please hit the like and subscribe button down below. Let's get back to it. I slightly touched on this before, but it's really important that the agent that you're working with gives you access to the entire property market, because you may be looking on sites like Idealista and other portals and you see tens of thousands of properties available on the Portuguese property market. But what you don't know is this is probably around half of what is actually out there. A lot of these are private listings or they haven't hit the market. And when you're working with a buyer's agent, they will give you access to not only all the properties on these portals, but properties which are not listed on these portals on private real estate websites. We use tracking and data and scraping tools that get all of the properties possible. And we also have countless partners throughout the whole of Portugal that we send out mass emails to get properties that are either not on the market, that are privately listed, or properties that aren't ready to hit the market yet, which means the real estate agent hasn't done all the descriptions, photos, videos to make the property live. And we have made many sales and got clients incredible properties from these properties that haven't hit the market yet. That means we get first access in to see them, so we have no competition when it comes to other buyers. This means you can get a great deal and you can get a property before it's out on the market. So it's really important you work with an agent that has many partners and gives you access to the whole property market. Quick tip, I always recommend getting a mortgage broker to help you get a pre-approved mortgage for your property. This means that we can understand the budget that you're working with, but also you can close faster on the property, because if you are competing with a cash buyer on a deal, the cash buyer typically wins because of speed. Speed really kills or makes deals, so make sure that you are working with a mortgage broker, get that mortgage pre-approved, and move forward all the essential steps as fast as possible. But always be cautious and make sure you are going to be fully protected. As a caveat to that, it's so important to be fast, but make sure you are never taking any unnecessary risk or any risk whatsoever. If you are thinking about purchasing a property, then we are exclusive buyers agents here in Portugal that help you with everything from A to Z throughout the entire process, making everything as smooth, simple, and as protected as possible. So you can click the first link in the description below to book a free call with a member of my team or myself. So I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.